I'll get to my winner quickly now before we get to Alan Atmansky here on the podcast. And I know you guys may disagree with this one a little bit. I've mentioned it before, but I'm going to go with the Arizona Coyotes as my winner from draft weekend. This was obviously a big draft for them. They had 7 picks in the first 2 rounds. They ended up making a couple of trades during the first round of the NHL draft. And so at number 3, they take the guy that I predicted they would take in Logan Cooley, maybe the most skilled, dynamic player in the draft, has all the tools to be a number 1 center in the National Hockey League. And then they trade up and they get Connor Geekie as well, a big 6'4" center. He was projected, I think, to go to Winnipeg, just outside the top 10. They grab him at 11 in the deal that they made with the San Jose Sharks to get that pick. Like you said, Case, you got to build a winning team down the middle, and Bill Armstrong has talked about that countless times, and that's what they did. And then they make a deal with Edmonton to take on Cassian's contract. They flip picks later on in the first round. They get a couple of future picks as well for taking on Cassian's $3.2 million cap hit, and they draft big 6'7" defenseman Maverick Lamoureux. And I found it really interesting what Armstrong had to say about him. Armstrong, of course, was in St. Louis before he got to Arizona, and he sees this kid potentially as the next Colton Parayko. So how can you not like that first round if you're a Coyotes fan? Then you go into the other rounds. I'm just going to mention a couple of players really quick. Julian Lutz from Germany, a talented left winger. They took him in the second round, 43rd overall, played in Munich with J.J. Paterka, so a talented German winger. And then Jeremy Langlois, another talented player out of the QMJHL, and they grabbed him in the third round, 94th overall, and he had 47 points last year as a defenseman for them. So maybe the biggest draft in franchise history for the Coyotes, and I thought they had a great first round, a couple of great picks later on, and this rebuild continues. I thought it was a great weekend for Bill Armstrong and company in Arizona.
Well, I think it was a great weekend for Arizona just to be getting more prospects in the prospect pool. They've had some troubles in the past, and I think it's a good year for them when they're not cheating as well. So that's a quick win off the bat for them. Definitely love the 2 center picks. Always want to build the team down the middle. I said it before, and we knew that they were going to make some sort of move to bring in more cap because they need to be above the cap floor. They're going to bring in more cap and pick up a first round pick. I did not see it being Zach Cassian. That one kind of blew my mind, but it's another smart move. You're not winning next year. Just take on the cap, buy the player out eventually, and get another pick. I think they reached a little bit on Maverick Lamoureux, but where do you put the value on a 6'7" defenseman? That's not something you come across every day. So it'll be interesting to see his development throughout the years.
Personally, I did not like their first round at all. I liked the moves that they did in the first round. Getting the 11th pick, and what was the other one? Oh, the 29th pick from Edmonton to take on Cassian's contract. I liked the moves. I just thought they missed on the pick. First of all, Logan Cooley is a no-brainer at number 3. I mean, I guess you could have taken Shane Wright, but like I already mentioned, I think they already had Cooley, in mind, and they knew him, and they just wanted to go with that. But Geekie at 11, I look at some of the players taken after him, and especially centers, because if that's what they really wanted. I think Frank Nazar, who was taken just 2 picks later, is a better piece, and I think Noah Ostlund, taken by the Sabres at 16, is a better pick if you want a center. Other than that, though, there was also Lekaramaki at 15, Kemmel still available, even Liam Ogren on the table at that point. I just think that, not that Connor Geekie's a bad pick. I just think there were players with maybe higher upsides that you could have taken a swing on, especially because you have 3 picks. And, speaking in the same vein there, at 29, they took a swing at Maverick Lamoureux, but only because he's 6'7". And to me, that just didn't make sense. I think there were two players who went directly after who could have been a way better pick. That's Brad Lambert or Isaac Howard. I just think they have higher ceilings. And if you have 3 first-round picks, at least one of them you have to take a swing on a player that's not the safe pick or, isn't the guy you're taking because he's, massive. I just thought they made poor decisions on the draft floor in terms of who they picked. But I did like the idea of taking on that cap and getting value in return. So if they didn't do that, they wouldn't have the picks in the first place. So kind of a mixed bag for me with Arizona, but I definitely think they could have done better on the draft floor.
I think it's all right when you think in terms of just sheer numbers of players that they picked up this last week. And Geeky is, from what I've heard, a guy who really benefited from the draft combine, and I heard that his stock rose quite a bit. So maybe they saw something in him they liked a lot. Maybe they spent a lot of time with that team because there's also Matthew Savoy to watch there. So I don't know. It's all about what the team likes.
Yeah, and not saying Geeky was a bad pick. I just think that might have been, there might have just been some more skilled players on the table. And if you're Arizona, it really depends how you want to build your team. If it were me, I'd build through skill. It seems like Arizona wants to build through size. We'll see what works out. We've seen both win in the NHL. So